Most people probably see you as a singer. How do you feel singing in comparison to drumming?
Well, I realise that I am a singer now, whether I like it or not. I mean, but really, I still think of myself as a drummer. I still think that if I've got any magic, it's as a drummer, not as a singer. You know, and I think that's really where I'm most natural. That's my natural habitat, if you like. It's about a drum kit. Although I do enjoy singing, apart from the fact that I have to, you know, right now as I'm talking to you, the back of my mind says, don't use your voice, don't use your voice, because of I have to sing. And as with drumming, of course, as long as you can stand up straight, you can play. You know.
You've done an enormous amount of records. I think you've done about 28 LPs with different bands on your own. What keeps you going?
No, it's all natural. Just enthusiasm for it. I have this childlike enthusiasm for this business still, which is peculiar because I've been in it. I've been playing drums. Well, I've had a drum set since I was 5 years old. I'm 34 now, and I never really wanted to do anything else but be a drummer. And I've been in bands since I was 18, 19, professionally, and semi-professionally before that. So really, it's just something I like doing, you know, and that's why I tend to do as many things as I'm asked to do, because I find it A, flattering, and B, a challenge, and C, enjoyable.
Ambition that you've still yet to realise?
Well, only to do more and more. I mean, obviously, I'm realising a lot of ambitions by doing my own thing, being successful. I mean, you know, I don't mean that egotistically. It's just it's nice to have a record come in at #1. It's nice to have concerts that are sold out. You know, these halls could very well be half empty, like they are for a lot of other people, because of the sort of financial state everyone's in. It's nice to know that they're buying tickets to see me. So a lot of those ambitions are being fulfilled, and but there's always more. You know, why aren't we selling out 2 nights? You know, why aren't we playing Madison Square Garden for a week? You know, things like that. Which one? As soon as you've done one, you want to always think there's something else. But literal ambitions, like, you know, who I'd like to produce. I'd like to do lots of different artists. Some of which I've already been asked to do, but couldn't do because of time. And that really seems to be the most the thing that gets in the way of anything that I want to do is the time element, because Genesis is still there. I'm here doing my thing, and the production things take time. Unfortunately, they take, you know, 2 months block wherever you want to do them, and there just didn't have much time around.
Is that stimulating as actually making music, just being behind a desk and producing music?
Well, it is. It's directing music, so it's really making it. I mean, obviously, in John Martin's case, for instance, he had the music written. I just directed it into a different area, maybe, because he was using a band for one of the first times for a long time. And we just geared it around, and I was playing on it as well, which sort of pushes it in a different direction. So it's very much you're involved. I mean, I'm involved in the making of the record. I mean, I'm there to guide the person because they've got me to guide them. They've paid me to guide them. I mean, that's really what I'm there for. So you try and, with Philip Bailey, you know, I mean, I was trying to make an album that everybody would like. I mean, basically that's what I'm doing, in fact. Whenever you make an album for Clapton or Philip Bailey or Frida, I'm there and I want as many people as possible to like it. And I'm not going to sort of to compromise their art for it, but at the same time, you know, let's do it this way, because then that'll make it more accessible, you know.
A lot of your work seems to be quite personal. A lot of probably your best songs are emotional, personal ballads. Is that a? What was I going to say now? Is that you opening yourself up and writing? Do you feel conscious that when you write a sad song, something means a lot to you, that 50,000 people or 500,000 people are actually going to?
Well, when I actually write it, no. Because I mean, I'm not convinced that anybody's going to buy my next record. You know, I'm never that sure of myself that I would assume anything in this business. Because I mean, you know, they might actually get really fed up with me. Me doing all this work is great for me, but the people actually get fed up with seeing my face and hearing my voice. So there's always a possibility that the next record won't do anything. But when I'm writing for me, really, and then I put all that together and then go in and record it. I mean, I'm doing demos all the time at home when I'm writing. Not all the time when I'm not doing my own albums or Genesis stuff, but basically when I sit down to do it, I'll sit there and I'll do all this stuff. And a lot of it is personal. My first album was incredibly personal. I mean, they all are really personal. Personal lyrically, and personal the fact that I go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and everything, I'm proud of everything on it. Otherwise it doesn't come out, or it gets changed until I am. But the Face Value record, that was incredibly personal. And really, I didn't really think about people, what people would hear. It doesn't embarrass you, you know, whatever.
Do you ever actually stop within the music world and go outside and take in the real life, as it were?
Well, yes. I mean, I live a real life. You know, I mean, I don't live in chauffeur-driven limousines and with champagne on call all the time. Just because I appear to be in the public eye and doing a lot of work. I mean, a lot of the time, I drive myself to the studio every day. I drive myself back. I have a W registration car, which is 5-6 years old, does me fine. And when I go home at night, I will clean up after the cats, I will do the washing up, I'll help the missus do something. I'll be worrying about the central heating, whether it's using too much oil. I mean, I do things that everybody does. The fact that I mean, it's a fallacy, I think, a lot of the time. There are very few rock stars, if you like to call them that, left, that actually do live a life as people think they do. I think most people are actually far more normal than they would like people to believe. And they try and fabricate this. Well, I don't go out to clubs and discos and stuff like that. I mean, occasionally, I've been to Stringfellows in London twice, both after 2 concerts, and I was invited to go, and I went for a drink and a quick bite to eat and left, you know. And that's about the only club I've ever been to, I think.
How do you still feel after all this time when you go in front of, like tonight, 8,000, 9,000 people? Does it still do something, or don't you realise that?
Well, yeah, it still does something, especially, as I say, with my music, because I'm you know, I've written this song as you put, you know, you're sitting at home and, you know, I play the piano probably like you play the guitar, you know. I muck about, and then suddenly this thing gets put on, you know, on tape, and then we go into a studio and record it, and the horns come over, and suddenly it's a bit of record, you know? And then you come over here and they react to it, and that's always a very nice feeling, because they're reacting to something that you actually wrote. And those 8,000 people out there tonight, or however many people there are, it's no good saying to them, "Oh, we were good last night. You should have been there last night. Sorry, we're not good tonight." You know, you've got to try your damnedest every night, because they paid their money and they want to see, you know, they want to see this. And the worst thing in the world is for them to go away disappointed, I think.
One last question, let you go. Why do you do interviews? Apart from the promotion aspect, you don't need to do them anymore, do you?
Well, I guess if you say I don't need to do them, I guess I don't.
Well, I mean, it's not because we're going to put you on the television. You're sold out already in this country.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, in that case, it's probably a good idea to do it so the people that can't get tickets can see that I am, in fact, exist, you know, as opposed to just being a face on the poster that you never get tickets for. Mm-hmm. I think I do interviews for various reasons, sounding out whether people like what I do. I mean, the people in the media generally tend to dislike what I do, and it's always interesting to find out, to be confronted with people like yourself or other people doing newspaper interviews or whatever that don't like or do like. You know, that's interesting for me as well. But I mean, I don't think of it as much as promotion, as you say. I mean, the record will do as well as it's going to do, whatever it's going to do, and the tickets will sell whatever the tickets are going to sell. If we were in trouble, I'd be doing more. But I like keeping in touch, you know. I like people to know that what I sound like. I don't want to become this sort of this Howard Hughes figure that no one ever talks to or whatever. I enjoy it. I'm stupid.
Thank you for talking to us, Phil. My pleasure. And I've got a good concert.
Yeah. Now back to the art.